Hey, welcome to the show. It's Paul Kirch, your host of Boss Academy Transformations. If you follow me on iTunes or out at bossacademy.com, you know we have a show called Boss Academy Radio. And I'm also out here on Periscope for the first time. Boss Academy Transformations came about because, I'm on my own transformational journey. I'm trying to lose weight, trying to get in better shape, trying to focus on some things in my life that I think are really important. And I realize that as an entrepreneur, sometimes we are pulled in a million different directions, and sometimes we don't take very good care of our bodies, and we, don't get the sleep we should. We make sacrifices that we shouldn't be making. And so I thought, what a better way to help people than focus on some things that can help them be better externally by helping them internally and helping myself along the way. So, I was just recently talking to a good friend of mine. She's been someone who really battles depression. She's clinically depressed and she's been suffering from this for 20 years. And when she's at her low points, she finds it hard to get out of bed, can't function, doesn't want to talk to anybody. But when she's not feeling quite so down, she's more functional. She hid this from a lot of people. When I found out this was what she was suffering from, it made me realize that, there's a lot of people out there that are just trying to get by, let alone trying to run a business, let alone trying to be a top performer. So if you've started your own company, you're an entrepreneur, you have, a business that you've built, or even if you're a entrepreneur wanting to get started in business, I think it's important that we have some support on the stuff that's holding us back internally. Now, I know myself, last year, I went on a workout rampage. I was exercising every day. I was riding a bike. I was eating better, and I dropped 50 pounds. And I didn't even know I had 50 pounds to lose. I was weighing in I think when I started, I was right around 235, maybe even closer to 240. And I got down all the way to 185. And it was this great transformation. I felt so much better. I had better energy. But I got stressed out. And when I get stressed, what do? I start eating. And so I focused on food and replaced some of the things that were good with things that were bad. And that's part of the problem as somebody who, uses food as a crutch. I mean, you have to eat, right? It's not like you can just avoid eating. So I let my mental state or my, lack of focus really get in the way of my weight loss. And I put about 20 of those pounds back on. And now I'm in the process of trying to get that weight back off. And, I realized that it's like, this is something we all go through. And so, you got people that are suffering from depression. You got people that are suffering from, addiction to food, whatever you end up, if you believe that's even possible. Some people argue that there's no food addiction and just put the fork down. But it's not always that simple, because sometimes when we're stressed, we look for things that are comfortable. And so as an entrepreneur, you're going to face some stress. One of the things that Tony Robbins always talks about is the language we use to talk about ourselves. And, if we talk about ourselves in a positive light, it helps us do more positive things. And let me give an example of a negative. And it doesn't even seem like it would be a negative. But if you say, you know what, I always procrastinate. Well, you've labeled yourself as a procrastinator, and you've given yourself an excuse as to why you procrastinate instead of being able to do something about it. So how you talk about yourself and how you talk about your business can be the make or break between success and failure. I just actually had interviewed somebody on my show, Boss Academy Radio, who his name is Greg Sugarman. He's a coach and a leader. And one of the things he was talking about is how there's been all this scientific study about brain research where they've identified areas of our brain that actually work to almost protect us from taking risks, taking chances. And so those things that, we get these great ideas, we're super excited about a direction we're going with our business. And I have this great idea, it's going to make me all this money. And then you don't take action. And then a couple days later, all of a sudden you're like, man, that was a great idea, but there's so much risk. Or you talk to some friends and they say, well, guys, should you think about this or that? All these things come up that all of a sudden make you realize, it just isn't worth it. It's not worth it. You talk yourself out of it. Well, there's chemical reasons behind this. It's not that you're pathetic or a loser or not taking action. It's that there are actual things about this that are holding us back. They call it the reticulator activator, whatever these things are. And it is something that gets in the way of you taking action. So when you know that there are chemical reasons, now all of a sudden you can say, okay, it's not me. I'm not the problem here. Something inside of me is trying to protect me from taking risk, but I need to take these risks to move forward. Now all of a sudden, maybe you can take some actions to start slowly and just recognize that when those voices are happening, those voices are there from long before we were ever born. I mean, this is stuff that came from the minute man was born. These were designed to protect us, the fight or flight type of mentality. So taking that into consideration, now all of a sudden we can say, okay, it's not that I'm holding myself back. There's just something there that I need to find a way to work around. Now you've taken excuses off the table and you can approach it from a rational standpoint. When I spoke with him, I'd heard him do this talk before. And when he was speaking about this issue, it made me realize that now all of a sudden it's like I can stop using the language talking about myself negatively when I'm not taking action, because that's what was happening. I was saying, like, oh, geez, why are you being such a loser? Why don't you just fall through on this? That's the negative language that gets in the way, and it all is intertwined. So, Boss Academy Radio is really all about business ownership success strategies. We know we're providing you tools and tips and things to help you in your business. Boss Academy Transformation is my new show that's going to talk more about what's on the inside, what's happening up here, what's happening in here, and what is getting in the way of you reaching your goals. How are you going to take better care of your health? Because you know what? You only get one chance on this planet. So let's take better care of our bodies. How are we going to eat better? How are we going to hold each other accountable? So I want you to join me on this journey, and I hope you tune in for the next episode of Boss Academy Transformations, because it's going to be a complement to Boss Academy Radio, but it's going to focus on the things that we need to be looking at internally so we can thrive externally. Boss Academy Radio is all about the external actions that you need to take. It's going to be great insights. So go check out bossacademy.com, and you're going to be able to check out both shows. And I really hope you enjoy what I'm doing here and get some benefit out of it. I'm a little selfish. I started this show because I need to hold myself accountable. I need to achieve some things that I've been putting off, and I want to help you along the way as well. So once again, my name is Paul Kirch. I am the host of Boss Academy Transformations. Check me out at Boss Academy Radio, bossacademy.com. We're also out on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. I hope you have an amazing day.